And Westmoreland on the Gridiron rolls on every Wednesday here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Dan Flickinger back with you. And joining me is our Week 6 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. He is Kiski area sophomore quarterback Carson Heinle. And what a huge game that he had last week. It was in a losing effort, but he certainly put up some big numbers. 22 of 32 passing, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, plus a rushing touchdown. Carson, I'm so glad you could join us tonight, and thank you so much for doing so.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, Carson, I have to ask you, I know Lynn Smith went into this season as the starting quarterback. A lot was expected from him. I know, he's had some issues, and now you take over at quarterback. You started the season on JV, and now you're throwing 3 touchdowns and rushing for another in a game. So did you envision at the beginning of the year that you would be the starting quarterback only a few weeks in?
Well, no, not really. I mean, I was going into just being ready for whenever my name gets called, and it did, and then I just had to perform.
Was there anything that you learned, starting the season on JV and going through that process in terms of maturing, because you're only a sophomore, in terms of maturing and becoming a quarterback? Anything you learned at the beginning of the year, playing on JV?
More just experience. I need the experience, not like a lot, but not really that much. But it was a different pace from from JV to varsity. It was a lot different though. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask, anytime you talk to anybody, whether they're, going from JV to varsity or high school to college or college to the NFL, they always say speed is the biggest thing. Would you say that's been the biggest thing from JV to varsity?
Yeah, everything just happens a lot faster. Like the reads are faster, the throws have to be faster. Just everything overall was just faster.
Now, I know you started the season this year on JV, but growing up, playing midget football, youth football, were you a quarterback?
No, actually, I started in middle school. I used to play in the midgets. I used to play tight end, and then I got to middle school, and I started 8th grade. I played QB because we didn't have one, and then I just kept with it.
But you've always been a quarterback through even middle school football, then, right?
7th grade, I was a wide receiver, but then 8th grade, I was a quarterback. So,
well, I talked with one of your coaches, Aaron Albert, and he said that you're a bright kid. I'm sure you agree with that.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
So how does that help you in reading defenses? Again, as a young player, it's not easy to do that. But, with your smarts back there, do you kind of see that being something that has been a benefit to you, being able to read defenses, even though you're only into a few starts in your career?
Yeah, well, my coaches helped me a lot, like my offensive coordinator, Jim McKenzie. I'm in his room every lunch and learn. He calls me down and we watch film and go over defenses and reads the whole time. So he helps me a lot. But yeah.
Well, I have to get to one of the other things that Coach Albert said. He said that you're such a tough player. You like to kind of tuck the ball away and lower your shoulder like a fullback and really hit it up in there when you're carrying the football. And they said they got to reel you in a little bit. That way that, they can keep you healthy and sometimes, take the easy play, go out of bounds and that kind of thing. But I don't know. Is that something in your DNA where you just feel like, hey, this is just what I do. I like to lower my shoulder and get extra yards.
Yeah, they don't really like when I do that, but I don't know. I'm just used to it. They're trying to teach me how to slide and I'm like, I can't do it. I just can't. I don't know.
Well, you got to keep the wear and tear off you a little bit. So you completed 15 of your 22 passes to Isaiah Gonzalez. Man, I mean, you guys were really working in tandem in that game against Mars on Friday. Yeah. Talk about your relationship. I mean, he's only a year older than you. I'm sure it's nice to have a safety blanket like Isaiah, right?
Yeah, we've known each other a lot through basketball. We've always played basketball together. But then this year we got it clicking, and we were before the game this Friday or last Friday, we kind of went in. Their corners play really far off, so we just went in just attacking their corners because they're so far off. So on all the short and intermediate routes, we were attacking a lot with Isaiah. So
I know it's been challenging on you guys still trying to get that first win, especially after the great start that you had last year. But, with so many young players on this team, are you looking at the bigger picture right now? I mean, I know obviously you want to win this week for sure, but continually getting better. I mean, is that something that you're trying to work on in practice, even just as important as winning the games themselves?
Yeah, getting better is a huge part, but everyone wants to win, but we're a really young team, like you said. So for these next years to come, we'll be definitely looking to get better and start to win more games.
How has the the mental makeup of the team been? Again, when you're 0 for right now, and you have a chance obviously this week to get that first win, but how has everyone kind of responded in practice? Are guys still working hard, that kind of thing?
Yeah, our coaches did a really good job to keep us going and keep us up, and no one's really down right now, so we're just still trying to find our first win.
Talking with Carson Heinle here on Westmoreland on the Gridiron. He was our Week 6 Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week. Carson, a couple of questions about you. What do you enjoy most about playing football?
Pretty much like everything. I like everything about it. Like the lead up, like the school day leading up to Friday night. I like it, and I watched Calvin do it all his junior and senior year, and I just wanted to do it. I just always wanted to do it.
Yeah, I want to ask you about your brother here in a second, but so obviously you're dedicated to football. I know you're a hooper as well, but when you're not on the gridiron or the hardwood, what are some of the things you like to do to kind of keep your mind off of things? And of course, the classroom too.
Yeah.
What are some of your hobbies?
I'm a big golfer. I like to golf a lot, so I go golfing and hang out with friends and all that. But that's pretty much it.
Where's your favorite course?
Well, I go to Vandergrift because it's the cheapest. Me and my friends go there. But sometimes I'll go to Hillcrest. That's like once in a while.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Hillcrest. Haven't been to Vandergrift, but
yeah.
So
I don't think you want to go to Vandergrift. Don't go.
Well, hey, if it's cheap, I'm there, man.
Yeah,
my balls are going left and usually right, actually.
Yeah. I'm
usually slicing anyway. So whenever you and Calvin play around together, who comes out on top?
I mean, I would like to say me, but it's not me. But I mean, I was always I was kind of forced into the QB with him being wide out. I was always throwing to him in the backyard. He would be like, throw it harder. And I'm like,
how much do you now? I do want to ask you about him because I know he's playing at Shippensburg, and we just broadcast Seton Hill Shippensburg a few weeks ago, but he's only a freshman there. I know he's redshirting. How much do you lean on him for his guidance, and what was it like growing up together? And then, of course, you have two older brothers actually, and Max. So what was it like growing up with those guys? And I'm sure they kind of beat you up a little bit since you're the little guy of the family.
Yeah. It was really cool. I mean, I think the only reason I'm tough and I can take hits is because of them. I'll give them all the props. But what Calvin has done for me, he done a lot. I look up to him. He tells me what to do, all my tweets and everything I do. And before the game, he'll always give me a text and everything. And we have a really cool relationship with football and us.
It's great to have that bond. And I'm sure once he comes home from college, you guys will be doing a lot of route running and, in the backyard, you'll be hitting them on all kind of routes, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is right.
Carson, you guys go up against Highlands this week. And I know, as a sophomore, you're just concentrating on quarterback right now. You're not playing on the defensive side. So from an offensive perspective, what do you guys have to do well? What does this Highlands team do well on defense?
Well, they do. They bring a lot. They blitz a lot. So we've been practicing a lot this week of blitz pickup with our O-line, which our O-line has done a great job recently. But I think they're going to be able to hold them off for me. I hope.
Well, I'm sure they will, Carson. This was great. And I do want to ask you, too, because I don't think people realize how difficult it is to play quarterback as a sophomore, especially when you go into a season not really expecting it. What has been the biggest, would you say, adjustment for you, playing at the varsity level? I know we talked about speed earlier, but what are some of the things you're still trying to kind of work through as you get ready for this week?
Well, the reads are the biggest part, but I don't know. I think that it's a lot different from JV. I need to put the ball right on the break, right on the wide receiver's break. That's just everything has to be more crisp, everything compared to JV. So I've been just working on everything.
Well, hopefully you guys get off to a great start this week and get a victory. And I know how much hard work you guys are putting in over in Vandergrift, in Kiski area. Mm-hmm. So congratulations on winning Player of the Week. And hey, you're only a sophomore, so we'll do this again, all right?
Yeah, I hope.
All right. Carson, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
That is Carson Heinle, quarterback for Kiski area, our Westmoreland Sports Network Player of the Week for Week 6. We'll be back on Westmoreland on the Gridiron as we take a look at Week 7 matchups right after this.